Hello, welcome to Always Yarn First. I'm Lindsay. I'm a knitter, crocheter, and spinner coming to you from Central Arkansas. I work at Arkansas Yarn Co. and I'm also a virtual assistant. To stay updated on my latest yarn adventures, you can follow me on Instagram and Ravelry as Always Yarn First. Hello everybody, welcome. Today is September 24th. It is 7:30 at night because I've had a busy day today. It is episode 98. If you are new here and you just found me, thank you for stopping in, checking me out. I hope you will find something you will enjoy. I do a traditional podcast style where I do show my finished objects, works in progress, acquisitions, all that good stuff. I do name every episode after a song that I love because before my love of yarn was my love of music, and I always can find one that suits the making mood, life mood, or whatever. So for this week's episode, I have chosen Automatic Yes by Zed and John Mayer. And I do have a Spotify playlist that is linked below that I have all of my titles of all of my episodes on there. So you can follow along on that playlist if you like. All right. Are we ready to get into the madness that is post DFW Fiberfest? Okay. So we're going to jump right into it. I will have timestamps below with different sections, so if you want to skip around. I do have finished objects, cast-ons, whips, and then similar to last time, I'm going to do an acquisition section mixed in with talk about DFW Fiberfest. So let's start with my finished object, which is what I am wearing. If you've been here a little bit, you have seen this before. This was so close to being finished last time. This is the test knit I have done for Trysten at Dragon Horde Yarn. This is the Winter Court Cardi, and this comes out, the pattern comes out to the public on September 30th, so just a few days from now. I definitely suggest it. I will say, I wouldn't maybe be a beginner pattern, but as long as you take your time, read directions, it was a lovely pattern to work. I did go according to pattern except my sleeves. I did, and I'm wearing it inside out. I just noticed my pearls are on the outside, which is okay. But I did my sleeves. I did all of the directions for my decreases on the sleeves. But after the decreases, I decided to just go ahead and do my cuff, and I did a 2-inch cuff. So there was more working straight before you went into the cuff, and the cuff was 2.5 inches. I like a bracelet sleeve, so that you can see this is a nice length for me. If I'm doing dishes or washing my hands, I don't want to have to be moving my sweater. This may look on camera tight, but it is not. It is fitted, but it is still very roomy. It just hugs your arm. It is so, so nice. So this is nice and big, and the arms are nice and cozy. I did a size 4, and I am very, very happy. And I used Arkansas Yarn Co. Yummy Worsted in the colorway Out to Sea. And I used, I have it in my, I think I did 5 skeins or 6. I basically had 2 extra skeins of what I purchased that I didn't need to get into. So very, very, very happy with this. Highly recommend it. Love it with its giant cushiness on the top here. I feel like I'm going to get a lot of wear out of this project all season long. All right, I technically have 2 more finished objects. So this next one is something I worked at and started at DFW Fiberfest. It is weaving. It is tapestry weaving. Yes, it is still on the loom because all I need to do is basically get these off and tie them on whatever I'm going to put it on. But my weaving is done. So I took a class, and I forgot the instructor's name, but I will have the information below. And I took it with my friend Allison. We went together to DFW Fiber Fest, which we'll get into all that talk in the end, but we did start this in the class. We received this little pop-out loom, and it was really, really fun. And the reason I wanted to take this class is because I want to utilize some of the fiber of my hand spun fiber that maybe is too thick or too thin even, that I don't want to knit with, but looks great in a tapestry weaving. So I'm quite happy with that. And my last finished object I am not going to show. It is a baby gift for Jessa's baby. And even though she doesn't watch podcasts, a lot of the people do. So I made something I'm going to keep a secret, and we'll see after the baby shower. So I had 3 finished objects this week, which is super exciting. But you know that if I finish something, that means there is definitely going to be some casting on. All right, I am going to talk about my current favorite project. So this is a new cast on. I have it in my puff stitch bag. And again, this is DFW fiber related. So this is new cast on, a new acquisition, new to me pattern, everything new. All right, so I worked the booth for a little bit with my friend Christine, who is Treasure Goddess Yarn. She has fantastic luxury yarn. And I have long time ago used her fingering yak base, and I went on and on about how soft and amazing it was. So I got to see she had a pattern. If you follow Lori, I'm sure if you watch me, you know who Lori is, my boss at Arkansas Yarn Co., my friend, who has made many, many braided bralettes, Tulsa tanks, and secret summer crops. That's kind of her thing. She finds a tank top she likes and makes a ton of them. So in Christine's booth, she had all these tank tops, and I will put it in a picture here, because she had all these tank tops in her DK base, which is this base here. It is the Treasure Goddess Yarn Yak Silk DK Treasures base. So this is 60% superwash merino wool, 20% yak, 20% silk. It is so soft. So her tonals are like a semi-tonal, and every color looks amazing. And she was, of course, wearing whichever one she didn't have up on the wall. And after staring in that booth, working with her for a while, I'm like, oh, I have to get one of these. So I decided to get this color, blue, of course. It's coming undone a little bit, so I'm going to tighten it up. So this skein I haven't gotten into yet, but here it is. This is called Sharks in the Shallows. So I kind of think of it as like a dirty denim color. And I cast on this tank top, which, let me see, I have the Turtleneck Tube by Stephanie Japel. And I cast this on yesterday morning. So it's different construction, but I'm loving it. So you cast on at the neck. Now, it's called a turtleneck tube. The neck is usually 5 inches. I, hot-blooded, knew that that was going to be way too much for me. I did 2 1/4. So you cast on here. Look at, here it is. I have my back stitches on hold right here. So I'm working the front right now. So I have this, and here's my tank top. Isn't it awesome? I love this so much. And again, we'll talk about it later in the end. There's another pattern I found or I should say refound, because I've shared it on my Instagram before, but I refound and bought yarn for, and I was trying to decide which one I wanted to cast on first. This pattern, the instructions for it, 1 page of front and back. 1 page. That's it. This is DK weight. This is going so fast. And today, even though being my day off, I just knit a couple rows. I haven't worked on it all day since I had coffee this morning. So this is from pretty much yesterday. Most of this is from yesterday. And I worked yesterday. So before work and after work. I love this so much. It is going so fast. I'm very, very excited. I'm really excited about the color. I love the feel of it. If you have not tried Christine's yarn, you should do it, especially her yak silk base. So I fell in love with this pattern, and this is now my happy project. This was my happy project, and I actually didn't really have a happy project when I was going to Dallas. I'm like, I don't know what to bring. Like, nothing's like making me excited. This is now making me excited. I am addicted to this tank top. So thanks for that, Christine. All right. That is the only thing I have cast on. So let's get into whips, shall we? All right, so a lot of what you've seen here before, I don't know if I showed this on the last podcast, but I did show it on Whip Wednesday, like a week ago. This was an old whip I had gotten out. This is in a black Purl Magic bag. And this is my pattern that is up on Ravelry. The coloring is a bit different than the instructions I used on Ravelry. I just was playing with a 12 skein mini set and with a skein of Arkansas Yarn Co. white wedding cake. But the patterning itself for the texture is my pattern. It is called the Infinite Happiness Cowl. So it is a cowl where you just go round and round and then you will attach it. So I'm just playing with this. In fact, I have like the next 2 colors in here, but I know it's a 12 skein mini. I need to find where the rest of the 12 skeins are. Yeah, because I don't have them all here. So this was just what was in my whip bag. It's been so long since I've touched it. And when I kind of didn't know what was bringing me happiness for projects, I went for the bright, happy colors for whips to bring out the happiness. So yeah, real fun project, very easy repeat, memorizable, good stuff. And the mini skeins were by Spotted Circus, by the way. All right, next, one that you've seen quite a bit and looks pretty much the same, but this was really probably the one that got the most love again because it's just so stinking easy to work on. I don't know if that stitch marker is accurate where I showed it last time. I don't remember if I moved it up. So I'm going to do that now. But this is the Half and Half Triangles wrap by Purl Soho. It is a free pattern. I am using Coastal Cotton Fine. This is the colorway Navy. And I'm still not ready to add that second color yet. Here is my short row over here. So I have to work back 1 stitch by 1 with short rows till I get back over there. But it sure is the most perfect not looking pattern, the perfect social pattern. This is what I worked on in the vehicle. I got to be a passenger princess on the way to and from Dallas, so that was awesome. It was easy in the car, no nonsense. So this is what got the most work. Not much different than what you've seen. So again, this is in a bag by String Crazy. And the last thing I worked on And I believe that I've showed this before, but I had completely frogged it since you've seen it and reworked what I was doing. So this is just me playing with planned pooling. This is in my Arkansas Yarn Co. Delaque bag. I have some of my stickers in there that I took with me. And this is a mystery skein. Don't know what it is. I had grabbed it from Free to a Good Home Table at Retreat. So I'm using this, and now I am further than I was originally on the pattern. I was doing something different. I didn't love it. So now here's where I'm at. And again, this is just me playing with stitches to see if I like it. I'm not following a pattern. I'm just making a shawl, playing with those rainbow stitches. And I'm a lot happier with this. Oh, and I see I have a dropped stitch. Uh-oh. Grab a stitch marker. So, yeah. Totally frogged that right before Dallas and then restarted it and worked on this. So this and the half and half triangles wrap were pretty much what I worked on during the Dallas trip. I didn't have anything exotic and fancy to show people that I was making, but I didn't really knit in the hall where everyone was anyway. So, all right. I went through those really fast. I do have one more. Do I have it next to me? Hold that thought. All right, I forgot about this one. Luckily, I had it on my notes. This is in another Delaque bag. This is the North Texas Yarn Crawl bag. And this is a baby blanket that I am making for Jessa, but she already knows about it. So, and this is a Tunisian crochet project. I think I just started this last time. This is called the Bias Tunisian Baby Blanket by Toni Lipsey, who is TL Yarn Crafts, who I got to meet this weekend. So that's fun. And this is in the colorway, it's Malabrigo Arroyo, the DK, and it's in Primavera. And here it is in skein. Super pretty. This is just using a Tunisian simple stitch. So if you've just learned the basics of Tunisian, you can very much do this pattern. It is very easy. It's very fun. I'm moving my Cheshire Cat up. I just love the way Tunisian crochet looks. In fact, this morning while I was drinking my coffee, I was like looking up a bunch of Tunisian crochet patterns. I'm like in that kind of mode right now. I love this colorway so much. It's so funny when you work at a yarn store and you see yarns all the time. You even, you put them away, you put them in the system. And you're like, oh, that's pretty. But, you can't get attached to every single yarn you see come in. And I never really paid attention to that yarn. And then I picked it up. I'm like, oh, this kind of has like the greens that Jessa likes, plus the pinks her mom like. And she's having a girl. And I thought, oh, but it's not too girly colored. I thought that was a good mesh. And then I started working it up. And I'm like, oh, my goodness, this color is gorgeous. I'm so glad I kind of happened upon it. It worked out really well. All right, so that is truly the end of my whips now. So I went through that pretty quick, but don't worry. If you're ready to strap in, we have lots of acquisitions and DFW fiber talk. All right, so I'm going to start with my acquisitions that have nothing to do with DFW first. First, I will start with subscriptions. So I received both my subscriptions. Gritty Knits had COVID, so she ran a month behind. So I got 2 months worth at one time. So this is color 49, 50, 51, 52. And this is the All Year Advent by Gritty Knits, Natasha. And she still wasn't feeling good. She was supposed to be at DFW Fiber Fest and she wasn't, which is probably great for my pocketbook because I usually cannot resist her fiber. All right, then the other one I got was my Knitty Knits Purly and the League of Extraordinary Sock Knitters. And her club this year has all been about the sock project book, where she dyes specifically for a project in that book, and then makes the little stitch marker to match the sock that you are to make with it. So that is my subscriptions. I do have one more thing that I received, and it is the Stephen West Mystery Knit-Along Kit. So Lori graciously gifted all of us girls a kit for the Stephen West Make-Along that's coming up on October 2nd, which if you're local, that's a Thursday night, knit night. And so we are having a cast-on party. You should come and join us. So this year's theme is Musical, and obviously I'm a music fan, so I'm really have high hopes that I'm going to love this cowl because it's definitely on theme for me. But she ordered kits through the website, and I just saw, and they go so fast. Literally, we were on there right away, and Jessa and Lori's ones that they picked were sold out before they could check out. So they had to repick. So I probably by mistake just glanced really quickly and I saw a picture of like ocean blues and I'm like, okay, that one. I didn't see who it was by or anything. So this is the bag I got, matching my blue theme. And I ended up getting Twisted Ambitions, which I love Ross's yarn. But we sell Twisted Ambitions in the shop. That's what I think is funny about it. So let me show you what I got in my kit. And then what I picked out of my stash for possibly Mohair Dare. So this is what came in my kit. This is all on Ross's Sweet Sock base. This is Blizzard. This is Scrubs, Corridor, and I Will Follow You Into the Dark. Now, I don't love this one, especially with these three. So I haven't yet, but I took my kit to the store on yesterday, and was trying to swap out this one to see if I could find one that went with these three. So I did find one that I will be swapping in instead. It has the kind of same blues you see here, but it has very bright neon green. But I think it'll be a fun pop of color, but yet it still incorporates the blues that you see here. So this will just go in my stash. And then it makes even more sense if I want to do a Mohair Dare, which again, we will see, but this was from my stash. So I figured I'd show you. This is a Suburban Stitcher that I got from the shop. This is a Surrey Silk, and this is the colorway Pewter. So it kind of looks, I don't know if it's coming across as a light gray, but there is like some blue tint when you really get to see in there. So I think it looks really nice with this. So I'm super excited about that. We also did get a couple of little goodies in the bag here. Let me get that out. So some stickers. Again, totally my aesthetic here with the mixtape. High Key Crafty, which is what the bag says. And then a Walkman. So we didn't all get the same stickers, and we each got a patch. And we didn't get the same patches. I got a different patch than the other girls, but I love this patch. She's crafty with a unicorn. So adorable. So very excited about that. I'm very nervous about the MCal. The only year I have attempted to do the Stephen West MCal was the Twist and Turns year with those crazy braids. And so that didn't happen. Anyway, so let's get into DFW Fiber. And I'm sorry if this is going to feel a little bit choppy. I will try to do this in an organized manner, but again, it's a little hard with all the stuff I have and the fact that I didn't get, like printed receipts of anything. So I didn't get receipts, which means I'm like, oh, where did I get that from? So I'm going to try my best to put things down below. But again, bear with me. Just making sure there's nothing else in here. All right. Let's see. So because I registered for classes, I took 3 classes at the Fiber Fest. I got a free bag. They actually had 2 colors. They had this one and they had a black one. So I picked this one. It had a couple little things in it, but it was mainly just ads for yarny things. Okay. The first class I took was my weaving class. So you saw the loom I had. It came with this kit with a nice little handout. And these are all the things that came with the kit, like a comb, a pop-up. I don't remember the things, what they were called. But I have all the stuff from my kit right here. So I can use it over and over again, which will be nice. And that was a great class. It was a great class. I really enjoyed it. That was Friday morning. So Friday afternoon, I did shopping. Although, I will say, so Friday morning, our classes started at 9:30. The market opened its doors at 9 a.m. So I convinced Allison, I'm like, let's just do a really quick, just like walk the halls, kind of see in general what we got going on. So I saw my friends, Sarah, the sexy knitter, Christine, Treasure Goddess. They were right next to each other. And I'm like, we can't stop. We're not looking. But then I spied this bag at Sarah's booth. Well, I saw it in a different color first. And I'm like, oh, I love Studio Ghibli. I love No Name. This is excellent. I love this. I saw it. And then she's like, oh, I have a pink one too. And I saw this and I'm like, I'm going to buy it, but I need you to save that for me because I got to go take a class. So she saved this. So I didn't purchase it, but I purchased it like first thing was this. And this was a mystery bag. I'm hoping I have, oh, okay. I have some extra things in here. This was in the general DFW fiber bag. All right. I put some of my other smaller purchases also in here. So in the mystery bag, I did have a skein of yarn, but it is not in here. So I'm not sure where that is. It was like kind of brownish gray. I got, what else did I get? Oh my word. I put so much stuff in here. So a slap bracelet, tape measure. This is a hair clip that looks like scissors. I Okay. Those ones I bought. Some point protectors. This is one of my favorites that was in the mystery bag. Mother of cats with a black cat, which is appropriate for me. And then this little guy holding stitch markers. They're just silver round ones. This little charm with more stitch markers. And like diamond jewelry stitch markers. I mean, that's what Sarah is known for. Heart point protectors. And this. And these were little, I don't think this was this was an extra, I can't remember what for, with a purchase I got from her. And so was this little necklace with butterflies on it. And yarn, which I don't know where that went to. So that is what I got from Sarah. But I also bought a couple extra things. Trying to put everything back. I also saw No Name point protectors, so I got that. Oh, these were in the her mystery thing. And I also got some plain heart stitch markers because I like those ones. And then, let me see, what else? This is I know from her, so let me dump out what's in this little thing. Okay, good. I got a gift for my daughter, which is this. If you look at it far away, it looks like flowers, right? And then you look at it close up. And it's skellies, which is hilarious. And I knew she would love that. Oh, see, I knew I'd be dropping little things. So I got her that. And then the pins were 2 for $10. So I got me this one that says, "Don't be a twat waffle." Lovely. All right. Is that all of Sarah's things? I think so. It is really hard to keep up with all the little stuff. All right, so I shopped from Sarah, and then oh, here's the yarn that was in the mystery. Here it is. It's like a grayish, greenish with like some yellow and purple stripes. I don't know what brand it is. So I really was not going to buy yarn unless I was going to get a project I had in mind. Y'all remember me saying this? All right, that project was the Gartergan that I was going to get DK's quantity of yarn if there was a color that I had to have. So there was a booth, and I forget what it was, but they had 500-gram skeins, both fingering and DK. So like no ends that I thought about getting because they had a show colorway that was beautiful. But I'm like, ooh, that's a lot to drop. So I waited. And then I walked by Mustache Yarn and I'm like, okay, I don't need any self-striping. I will be strong. I have like a lot of her Star Wars colors. It's all good. But then I saw a little sign that said K-pop Demon Hunters yarn. So I bought it because I had to, because I love it. So this is Mustache Yarns. And then even better, when I checked out, they had Derpy Tiger sticker and the message that comes on his tongue. If you've watched this movie, it's on Netflix. If you haven't heard about it, you're living under a rock. But they have the hello friend that he has on his tongue in the movie. So I bought these, and I bought an extra one of these for my daughter. Need to keep her pile separate here. So I bought that yarn. So that happened. Then across from Christine was my friend Maureen, who is Charming You. It was lovely to see her. I did not buy any yarn, but she had some beautiful buttons. So tell me what you think. Here is what I got for my cardigan. I think they're just a nice contrast. I think it's super pretty. What do you guys think? I am really, really happy with these. So yeah. All right. Next, what did I get? Okay, so I'm going to talk about Christine last because that's where I worked in the booth. But I thought I was done shopping. You know how it goes. You thought you were done, whatever. But I had taken some pictures of some garments. This is before I saw the tank top that I started. Because again, I knew I was working in Christine's booth, so I wasn't like overly focused on her booth because I knew I was going to be spending a lot of time there. I'd taken a picture of a garment, and I will put it in here. Looked familiar to me. If you follow me on Instagram on Mondays, I do pattern highlights. I have highlighted this pattern before. And the sample was beautiful, and they had all kinds of beautiful tonal mohairs on the table with it. My friend Alice and I had left, and we're like, we're done shopping. We did so good. Yay us. And then I'm like, I think we went and like had a snack or something, and we came back, and I'm like, I can't stop thinking about that tank top. Like, I feel like I'm going to regret it if I don't get the stuff for that tank top. So I went back and bought this. This is Nordic Star Yarns. And this is the colorway Razzle Dazzle Berry. And what's funny about this is Lori also came to DFW. She came with our friend Sydney, and they didn't travel till Friday morning. We got there Thursday afternoon. So we were done shopping, and we were out like in the hallway when we saw them enter the building. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm done shopping. But then, you know, I'm back in here, and I'm literally holding up this yarn. I'm asking Allison, I'm like, oh, which color? She's like, oh, you don't want blue? And I'm like, I kind of want the pink. I said, but if I make the pink, Lori's going to try to steal it from me. And at that moment, Lori came from around the corner, and she said, what are you holding that pink yarn for? And I said, I think I'm making this. And then she's like, ooh, that's really good. So she also picked up the pink yarn. However, her yarn and my yarn are not the same. So when you have them side by side, they're slightly different. Hers is slightly darker, and there was only 2 skeins of that one left. So she bought both of those. So we'll be matching, but not perfectly matching. So this is Nordic Star Yarns, lace weight, 70% Super Kid mohair, 30% mulberry silk. She just has these skeined really big. These are 50-gram skeins, so it's 437 yards per skein. So don't know when they'll cast that on. Again, like I said, I had printed out the pattern for this, and I printed out the pattern for the DK tank top, and I'm like, okay, I want to make them both. Which one should I make first? Front and back pages. I think this was 7 pages, which, you know, it's fine. But front and back pages, the other one was 1 page. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to make the DK tank top first. And then I'll worry about this. Yes, they're both sleeveless, but both of them can work for the season with a lovely cardigan over it. I think they'll both be great. All right. The other things I got a couple of other little things. I don't even know what booth I got this from. I was walking by and I saw the sticker and I had to have it. So I bought this sticker. You know, you've seen this meme before. Billy Idol. I just thought it was hilarious and I needed it as a sticker. And then this is actually the last purchase I got. But Thursday night I had dinner with, we had dinner with Christine, Sarah, her husband, and the woman who owns Destination Yarn and her booth babe, as they like to call their helpers, booth babes. And then the owner of, and I circled it, so I went, Roro Jewelry Designs. I'm sorry, I don't remember you girls' names, but I had to check out her booth. She had jewelry and pins, and so before we left, I checked out her booth, and I found these earrings for me. Super pretty. They kind of remind me of Nicole. Like, I feel Professor Purl, like these would be up your alley. I could see you wearing these also. And then I found these batty earrings for my daughter because she loves bats. So I thought she would enjoy those. And just because reasons, and that's all I'll say, I got this pin. I thought that was cute. So I got that jewelry. And then Lori bought us all Twisted Ambitions needle toppers. So I'm going to use this because I'm using Ross's yarn for the MCal. So I'm going to put that in my MCal bag. Yes. All right. So the last acquisitions I got were at Christine's booth. So firstly, before I was working for her, I started looking at her booth and I saw, again, wasn't going to buy any fiber. I really wasn't, guys. I really wasn't. But this is like my blue right here. You can see I've already got into it. And I saw that and she gifted it to me. Basically, I got paid in fiber from Christine, which was lovely. So she kindly gifted me this. It's beautiful. This is 100% Targi. It just says blue gray, and I love it. Oh, because I forgot, there was one other purchase I made. I bought this spindle. It's like a chopstick. So I was just playing with this in the hotel with this lovely fiber of Christine's. And I don't remember who I got this from. I'm so sorry. If I remember, I will put it in my notes. All right, so I went home with this, and then Saturday when I came back to work, Christine also gifted me some lovely, lovely silk. So I was going to take a silk class at Christine's barn a year ago, maybe. Christine and Sarah live in Kansas City. And I had signed up to take the class. It was all about spinning silk. And I was very intrigued on how to do it. I was super excited, but then life, and I just couldn't make it work. So she wanted to gift me specifically this silk pack. So she had these packs for sale, except she added some more in. But yeah, it's just all kinds of silks, Smilberry silk top, Tussa silk, Peduncle silk top, natural Muga silk top, and then another mulberry silk top, and then she added some others in that she had stashed, just a bunch of silk. So amazing. I cannot wait to play with this, both see how it works on my spindle and then see how it works on an e-spinner. I'm a little bit nervous with the e-spinner because I go pretty fast on that. So Christine, I love you so much. It was a joy to get to spend so much time being your booth babe. Them girls are so much fun. Christine hosts a party at her barn where she dyes yarn twice a year. If you watch this, Christine, please, correct me if I'm wrong. But usually in the spring and the fall. I went last year and she had Marie Green there, who is Olive Knits, and it was so much fun. it's always a good time, and she is an absolute delight. So I appreciate the gift of fiber, but I had a blast working in her booth. And the other thing I bought, of course, was the yarn, which was for the tank top. And I bought 3 skeins of that to make that tank top. All right, that is all my purchases. Well, nope. There's one more. Oh, right. And talking about the last class that I took, I purchased some things in there. Before that, I want to quickly mention, in a very nerdy podcaster thing, I was most excited to meet Therese. I have mentioned Therese's podcast before. Therese is Caffeinated Cast-Ons, and I love her. And I knew she was going to be there. I literally was looking for her all day Friday. And when my friend and I were walking out, she's like, "Oh, that was a good day." I'm like, "Yeah, but I didn't see Therese." And I'm afraid because I had a half-day class each day. So I'm like, what if I miss her? Well, literally, as I was working the booth at Christine's and I was headed to the bathroom, I ran into her. And you know how when you meet someone that you really look up to, I probably was geeking out in a ridiculous face because she was having a conversation with someone, and I was just patiently waiting. But then I'm probably looking at her really weird, and she's like, "Hi." I'm like, "Hi, Therese," and she's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "I'm sorry." But I met Therese, and once I told her, I'm like, "I love your podcast. I'm a podcaster too." I gave her one of my stickers. She gave me one of her bracelets. This one says Fiber Friends. I said, "Well, we have to take this one because now we're Fiber Friends." So I didn't get to speak with her a super long time, but I absolutely loved getting to meet her. So Therese, sorry if I was kind of weird stalkery there, but I just really love your podcast and your vibe. So very, very excited. And I wanted to mention that I met her. All right. So truly, last thing. Sunday morning, I took a class on support spindle. I have a couple top whirls. I bought this one because this is different. You could support spindle with this, but it's not really made for that. And I took a class, and it was really good. Am I great at support spindle? Absolutely not. But it was a lot of information. But we got this folder, and I have a bag, a crazy, crazy bag of fiber here. So let me see if I can kind of show it. So this is all natural fibers. And Molina, my teacher, gave us stickers and had us label them. So you took a little piece on here, and so that way when you're spinning them, you know which one you're spinning, and you know which ones you like. I mean, this is bison down here. This is bison hair. Crazy, crazy stuff. So super, super fun. Galena had her own spindles in there to share. Gave us this fiber to take with us. So I did not buy the spindle I was using during class. This is what I spun that she just slid off there. Not great, but it is what it is. But then she showed us a different spindle that she used for plying. So her support spindle didn't have any ridges on it, but this one does. And she said that you can use this for support also, but she definitely uses this one for plying. So I did buy one of these because I liked kind of the ridges, especially since so support spindling, different than a drop spindle. A drop spindle, you just give it a good spin, and then you're just kind of let it spin as you're just plying up at the top. You just let it spin and spin and spin and spin. This is not like that at all. Let's see if I can even make this go. You have this at the tip of your thing. You have it in a bowl. and your yarn is still coming up here, but it's like one flick, one flick, one flick, one flick, one flick, one flick. So I kept wanting to like spin it really hard like I'm used to doing with a drop spindle, and I'm like, nope, that's not right. So it's totally different method, but it's so much fun to play with. And then, so I bought this. I bought a bowl, even though I have like a wooden bowl and a regular support spindle that I'd gotten from Snyder Spindles, who they were at the Fiberfest also. And then I also bought a little bit of silk yarn because she says to keep costs down low. I mean, she spends the money and gets this natural fiber, you know, which some of them, I can't remember which one of these. There was one of these that she gave us the tiniest little amount. I don't even think Kiviet. So this hair is the softest of all of them. And she said where you buy this, you get a little baggie, like where you would see like maybe notions in or something like this big. And Kiviet in that little baggie, a nice thin piece, $2 for that much fiber. It is insane how expensive it is. So she says what she does when she plies her yarn, she uses her hand spun, which she's done, but then she buys silk yarn. She buys pure silk. So she had these for sale too. I just got a mini because I'm like, in no close time from now am I going to be ready to ply anything, but I wanted to have one. And she says, and she doesn't even, which is interesting because I just got silk. She says that she doesn't even spin the silk because this is her way to keep the cost down. She just buys the silk skeins and then uses that to ply with her hand spun. So I thought that was super interesting. So I got this and the spindle and the bowl from Galena. And I also got one more thing from her, which let me go run and get that. All right, so with Galena's yarn that she spins, it is so fine that she basically is a master of Ornberg lace. She had a pattern for sale, and I'm just going to show it quickly. It was already printed out like this. So, two big charts. It is this, and I mean, she had her shawls behind us as samples. They're stunning. So this picture does not do it justice, but here is the pattern. It's called Snowflakes. Snowflake scarf. Her patterns are not on Ravelry. In fact, she gave us like a list of, she was retiring. This was her last class Sunday at big shows. She was done teaching big shows. So she gave us like a list of where you could maybe find booklets or stuff that her patterns were in, but just phenomenal. I know, she has like a whole list of things from 2002 to 2022 where you could find her different patterns. But she also gave us another one called a Luxurious Red Cap to Knit. It looks like it was from 2008 magazine. So her lace work is just gorgeous. And I thought, okay, I can't buy her pattern later. And if you've been here a while, you've heard me say that I've been in the mood to start like a true lace project, which I do have one picked out, but this could be a nice alternative now that I have this giant thing to work from. So I bought that pattern also from her. That was a great class. I learned a lot. Like toward the last, every class was like 3 hours, and the last 45 minutes, I'm like, I'm done spinning. Like, I'm not getting it. Like, I wasn't like frustrated and giving up, but she would tell stories and just explain things. And I mean, by that time she was talking about plying, and I'm like, okay, well, I am not even in Like, I am not ready for that. So I was kind of like zoning out, but like in a happy zoning out, you know, like just enjoying being in the room, being in the moment. So it was all good. That is all. And now I have a giant mess to clean up. So between retreat and DFW Fiberfest this month, it's been a very acquisition heavy month for me, but very happy month. Very happy to see everyone. I saw lots of folks we know from our retreat. It was great. It was just all good, but I'm very happy as an introverted person with 2 social events there within 3 weeks. I'm happy to be at home and say I have no plans at all for this weekend and quite happy with it. So I'm happy to be here. If you lasted all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much. Please give this video a like, subscribe, thumbs up, all the things. And I appreciate you, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.